Hi, my name is Pam Billings, and I'd like to thank the American Lung Association and Lung Force for inviting me to tell my story today. I want to tell everybody hello. And thank you again for joining me. I appreciate it so very much. And I just want to take a few minutes to tell my story. For several weeks, I'd been feeling sick and I had a cold or the flu and I couldn't catch my breath. I was constantly coughing and I just felt terrible. Finally, on New Year's Eve, 2012, I went to an urgent care clinic and it was packed, and I ended up being the last patient of the day. I had come to find out I had an infection, the flu, and bronchitis. It was late, and I could see she was tired and just wanted to go home. But after several attempts, I convinced her to at least give me a chest X-ray. She didn't want to, and it wasn't necessary, and it was a waste of time. But I finally convinced her to do it anyway. A couple of days later, I got the call that my X-rays were back, and the doctor would like to discuss them with me. Could I please bring someone with me? When I got to the clinic, the doctor told me she had found 2 spots on my lung. I didn't know who was more surprised, her or me. At that day, my journey began, and I knew I was in for the fight of my life. I had 9 rounds of chemo, 35 rounds of radiation. I had 2 blood transfusions, and I just wanted to do the best that I could and fight a fight that I could fight. Finally, in July 2013, I finished my treatment and heard the words I never thought I would hear: remission. Never had I been so happy to ring a bell. My sister drove 350 miles. She shaved her head, and we bought matching wigs, and we bought matching clothes. She was my biggest supporter. We had a great time, and finally, I was feeling a little bit better, at least feeling like I was me a little bit once again. Then my life changed again in January 2014. My sister was very sick, so I drove to East Texas, and she was in the hospital, and they kept saying it was bad, really bad. Finally, I found out that she had lung cancer as well. I thought, okay, we can do this. I'm living proof. I'm living proof that we can do this. We can fight this fight together. I stayed the weekend, then drove back home to get someone to cover for me at work so I could be with her through this. I somehow thought, it isn't right. I got cancer, so that meant the rest of my family was saved. 2 sisters having this terrible disease should not happen. I came home on Sunday to to pack and go back and be with her on Wednesday, and she died before I got there. She had lung cancer in both lungs and her liver. How could this happen? How could 2 sisters have lung cancer at the same time? Since I was diagnosed, I've lost 4 family members, 9 friends to this terrible lung disease or lung cancer. No mother should lose all of her children to cancer. Early detection is the key. All we ask for is a fighting chance. I've lost 2 sisters, one to lung cancer, one to cervical cancer. The difference between me and them is early detection. It's so important. That X-ray saved my life. I wouldn't be here today if it hadn't been for that. I've now been in remission for 4 years, but I still go every 3 months for scans. I start getting sick before each visit, thinking that it's back. The fear never goes away. But you just have to keep fighting, and you have to work toward it. And you have to stay positive. That's what keeps you going, even if you're devastated. I became involved with the American Lung Association's Lung Force because they gave me a voice to speak for so many that can no longer speak for themselves or stand against lung cancer. I encourage everyone, excuse me, I'm sorry, I encourage everyone to join this fight in May. By doing so, you're not only raising awareness, you are providing support to anyone whose life has been touched by this devastating disease. I had the honor of going to Washington, D.C., and to stand up before Congress along with many other cancer survivors to tell my story and to advocate for lung cancer research and awareness. I was shocked to learn that despite being the #1 cancer killer of women in this country, 98 of the women don't even have lung cancer on their health radar. Most people don't know that anyone can get lung cancer. Sadly, one woman dies every 8 minutes of this terrible disease. It is our responsibility to bring attention to the reality of this deadly disease and the need for early detection. People can visit lungforce.org or lungforce on Facebook to learn more about lung cancer and how they can help. People ask me, what are the 2 pieces of advice you would give to a lung cancer survivor? And be your own best advocate. Nobody cares about you like you do. You have to be your own best advocate. And you have to know if something is wrong and you feel it's not right, get it checked out. If it costs $79, go with it. But you have to know that it's for your fight. The second thing I say is let your family and friends help you if you've been diagnosed. They don't know what to do and they just want to help. Have them wash a dish, make a bed, go do your grocery shopping, cook you a meal. Just let them in. They want to be a part of it and they want to know that they are there for you. So let them be. I just want to thank everybody for your time, and I appreciate you listening to my story. And I'm so sorry. I just lost my sister 2 weeks ago. So it's so dear and personal to me. And I'm begging you to get checked, get a scan, take care of yourself. It's so important. And I'm going to go ahead and take questions now. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate that. Even if you don't smoke, I've got a friend who's 28 years old and she's terminal and it's lung cancer, and she's 28 years old and she was a nurse and she just happened to feel bad and go in and get checked. So it is so important for you to get checked. I can't thank y'all enough for joining us here tonight. It means so much to me to be able to tell you my story and to thank Lung Force for letting me be a part of it and be heard. Does anybody else have any questions? I'm so sorry. It's just very dear to my heart. The American Lung Association has been a great help to me. Thank you, Ed, for the question. They have helped me if I need any kind of information or where to get help or where to go to and get the support. I mean, they're there. They've just been wonderful. I actually had went to a paint and wine palette, and that's how I found them. And it's been the best thing that's happened to me. They have given me so much support and guided me and helped me through this. Please, if you have one near you and you want to get in touch, please get in touch with them. Anybody else have any questions? I hope you could understand me. I wasn't too big of a baby. Anybody else? Thank you. Thank you. I just think that it's so sad that the difference between losing 2 sisters and me is me getting the x-ray and them not. I never dreamt that they would die. My younger sister's survival rate, had she been checked earlier, was 95%. 95% survival rate. And by the time they found it, it was spread throughout her whole body. Again, be your own best advocate. Any more questions? Thank you, Catherine. I appreciate that very much. Anybody else? Once again, thank you, the American Lung Association and Lung Force, for giving me the opportunity to share my story and to go to Washington, D.C. and stand up there and fight the fight and to be heard. Anybody else? And I'd like to thank you very much. And I hope that I've been a little bit of an inspiration, that you will get checked out. Because again, no mother should lose all of her children. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, my sisters. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Sarah. Do I have parents that have any type of cancer? This is from Catherine. No, Catherine, I don't. Neither one of my parents had cancer. It started with me and then just went down from there. We can't even figure out where it started from because my father did road construction, so we traveled all over the nation when we were growing up. So it wasn't from living in one town. Thank you, Ed. I think it would be. This is my sister's right here on my shirt. When I went to Congress, I asked the congressman if they would please wear one of the stickers with my sister on it so they could be a part of it as well. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. I think the good Lord kept me here for a reason. It's probably because I'm loud. But I'm going to share and tell and talk until the day I die. Thank y'all very much. I appreciate y'all. Do I have any more questions? Thank you so much for letting me share. Thank you.